So I just want to do a quick connection test that um, basically it just kind of shows the difference between the different frequencies in Wi-Fi, and then shows how the best frequency on the Wi-Fi compares to the wired connection, just hardwired into your router. Um, my router is sitting right above my laptop. It's right there. And then I have my laptop here, and it can function on both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz frequencies for the Wi-Fi. And then I have my desktop sitting right there. It's going to show us what it can do for the wired connection. Now, the internet provider that I have provides up to a gigabit per second. I do not have a gigabit per second, but I do have half of that, which is 512 megabits per second. So we're going to see how that performs. Right now I should be on, yes, I'm on the 2.4 gigahertz frequency for my Wi-Fi. So we're going to go ahead, click go, and this is going to be on, it's going to be all on the same server. It's going to be on speedtest.net. As you can see, it pretty much throttles around the 160 range, 165. I've seen it go to, might get to 170. And looks like it's going to throttle out right there at 169.75. The ping is 4 milliseconds, which is about the same that I got on my desktop. Now my upload speed is pretty much 100 megabits per second. That's pretty much the cap I think that I have. But so that was on the 2.4 gigahertz frequency, and then we're going to switch to the 5 real quick. And it is not AT&T, that's just what I have it named, because why not? But we're going to go ahead and just test again on the 5 gigahertz frequency. And as you can see, it's a major jump. Now the difference between a 2.4 gigahertz frequency and the 5 is the 2.4 gigahertz, it's able to go a lot further than the 5 gigahertz frequency, but the speeds aren't going to be nearly as good, as you can tell, as the 5 gigahertz frequency. The 5 gigahertz frequency is pretty much the exact opposite of what I just said. It's going to perform a lot better, but the distance is going to be cut probably by 75%, because I know that if I were to go downstairs right now, my router could not connect to my phone with the 5 gigahertz frequency. I have Galaxy S7, so it does use the 5 gigahertz frequency, but it does not connect that well at all. Now if I'm on the 2.4 gigahertz frequency, it's just fine. I can go a pretty great distance. And so now we're going to do the wired connection, and the results are going to be almost the same as as the 5 gigahertz frequency, but for some reason the latency is a lot more. Oh wait, this is the wrong server. This is in the Evansville server. The ones that I used for my laptop just now was the Indianapolis one. So once this is done, I will switch it. As you can see, even though it's a greater distance, because I live in Connorsville, Indiana, Indianapolis is about 60 miles away from where I'm at. This server might even be in the middle of Marion, so it could be just a little bit further than 60 miles. It should tell me the distance somewhere, but yeah, as you can see, that's in Evansville. That's a lot further. I think that's about a 4-hour drive from where I'm at. Indianapolis is only about an hour drive. So we're going to switch to the MetroNet server in Indianapolis, and we're going to click go again. And yeah, there's the latency difference. It's only by 2 milliseconds. It's 2 milliseconds faster than the 5 gigahertz frequency on the laptop. And as you can see, it's performing, let's see, that's about, it's about a difference of about 62 megabits per second. And the upload speed is pretty much just going to throttle out right there at 100, 101, something like that. Yeah, it's pretty much the exact same, but that's just because it's capped by my provider. there, and as you can see, the latency there is 4 milliseconds. The download speed is 451.38. It was peaking at about 500 megabits per second here and there, but it just throttled down at near the end, and then as you can see, it got right at a little over half of a gigabit per second. But yeah, there for a while I did have a gigabit per second internet speed, but for some reason my internet provider, it didn't actually go up. I think the highest internet speed I ever recorded from my internet provider with the gigabit per second package was about 800 and some megabits per second download speed, which that's still really a ridiculous amount of, for your download speed. But, if I'm not getting everything that I want, then there's no reason for it. Even, like, really, I didn't even have any, I play Call of Duty and I'm just trying to get the best advantage that I can possibly get as far as connection goes, because that's a really connection based game. But that's pretty much all I play. But yep, that's the difference between 2.4 gigahertz 5 gigahertz frequency for the Wi-Fi and the wired connection, and how the 5 gigahertz compares to the wired connection. It's an up and coming technology. I think it'll be a lot more, it's going to be a lot more frequent in the future, but right now it's just not quite there yet. It's not quite used by normal everyday people. It's right now it's still, I guess you can say it's still in development, but yep, that's it.